Carla Matthews had the perfect life. A beautiful home, a loving husband, and 2 children who filled her days with joy. But everything she knew was a lie. One fateful discovery, a single cryptic clue, begins to unravel the picture-perfect life she spent years building. As secrets from her husband's past begin to surface, Carla is faced with a chilling reality: the man she married, the father of her children, might be a dangerous criminal. With each shocking revelation, she must decide: expose his dark past and risk losing everything, or protect him and bury the truth forever. As the investigation heats up, the truth becomes even more twisted, forcing Carla into a terrifying confrontation with a secret she never saw coming. It was a Tuesday afternoon when it all began to unravel. Carla was tidying up the study, one of the many rooms in their house that Sam had claimed as his personal space. She stumbled across an old leather-bound journal tucked behind a stack of paperwork. It was dusty, as if it hadn't been touched in years. Curiosity gnawed at her as she pulled it out and opened it to the first page. The handwriting was unmistakably Sam's, but the words on the page felt foreign, dark, and dangerous. He had written about debts, about a man named Victor Ellis who seemed to have far too much power over him, and cryptic references to something Carla couldn't understand. But the one line that chilled her to the core was this: "If they find out, it's all over. Everything we've worked for will be gone." Carla's heart raced. Sam had never been open about his finances, always claiming his business dealings were complicated, but this was different. Who was Victor Ellis? Why was Sam so terrified? What was he hiding? Over the next few days, Carla's suspicion turned into obsession. She spent hours digging through Sam's things: his laptop, old financial records, and phone. What she found made her blood run cold. There were multiple mentions of unsolved crimes, criminal syndicates, and things that no ordinary businessman should be involved in. Carla's mind reeled as she pieced together the fragments of his secret life. Her husband wasn't just a successful entrepreneur, he had ties to a dangerous criminal organization. As the days passed, memories began flooding back. They had met years ago at a charity event. Sam had been charming, handsome, and seemed like the perfect man: successful, kind, and driven. Carla had fallen for him instantly, swept up in his charisma. They married soon after, and she quickly became a mother, giving birth to their first child, then another. She had trusted him with everything: her life, her dreams, her future. But the past weeks had slowly started to erode that trust. In their early years together, there had been small signs, things that she had brushed aside. Late-night meetings, unexplained absences, whispers from people in his circle about Sam's connections. But Carla had never questioned it. She believed him when he said he was too busy with work. He was always doing it for the family. And now, with the pieces falling into place, she saw the terrifying truth: she had been blind, wrapped in the comfort of their perfect life, ignoring the signs of his deception. The more Carla uncovered, the more she became consumed by paranoia. Sam's behavior changed. He became distant, irritable. He was always on edge, never fully present, as though he were constantly looking over his shoulder. Carla was now terrified to confront him. What if he knew she was snooping? What if he would turn on her? The tension between them grew. Sam became more secretive, his once open nature now replaced by an impenetrable wall. Every conversation felt like a battle, every interaction laced with lies. Her unease deepened when she realized that their neighbors, friends, and even their family were unwilling to talk. They all knew something she didn't. Something she hadn't yet figured out. Then, one night, everything exploded. Carla found a police report tucked in Sam's briefcase. It was about a string of robberies, all involving high-end businesses. As she read through the details, she saw Sam's name, linked to the crimes. His involvement was clear, but his name was always just out of reach, hidden behind aliases and false leads. Carla felt her world collapse. Her anger and fear surged to a boiling point. She confronted Sam in their bedroom, throwing the report at him. "Who are you, Sam?" she demanded, her voice shaking with a mix of fear and fury. "What have you done?" Sam's face turned pale. For the first time, he seemed lost, unsure. "Carla, please, I didn't want you to know. I didn't want this life for you, for us." His words tumbled out in a rushed confession, a tale of a past he had desperately tried to bury. He had once been deeply involved in criminal activities, doing business with dangerous people, including Victor Ellis. But as he grew in his career, he tried to distance himself from the organization. Unfortunately, they didn't let him go so easily. The investigation had come full circle. The law was closing in on the criminal syndicate, and Sam's name had surfaced again in the authorities' search. Carla was left with an impossible decision. Should she turn him in to save herself and their children, or should she cover up his crimes to protect the life they had built together? The choice was excruciating. Carla's love for Sam still lingered, but so did the anger and betrayal. She couldn't shake the image of her children growing up without a father, their lives shattered by his actions. But could she live with herself if she helped him escape the law? Just as Carla was about to make her decision, she stumbled upon one final secret, one that Sam hadn't shared even in his confession. Sam had been involved in the criminal activities not just for money, but because he had been forced into it by someone far more dangerous than Victor Ellis. It turned out that Carla had been unknowingly tied to the criminal organization all along. Her own father, a successful businessman, had been involved with the same syndicate years before, and his past had been hidden from her, just as Sam's had. She was part of the mess all along. She wasn't just the victim, she was part of the game. Faced with the truth, Carla made a choice no one could have predicted. She decided to protect her family, to erase all the evidence of Sam's involvement and confront the real puppet masters. In a final, unexpected act of defiance, Carla took control of her fate, and the fate of her family, deciding to rewrite their story. Did Carla make the right choice in the end, or was she blinded by love? What would you have done in her shoes? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thrilling content. Hit the bell so you never miss a mystery, because some stories are darker than imagination.